217. Issue with crime. Venue sponsored by Bangor Music House.
Driving down the road at night.
Hello, everybody. We're having a little bit of a technical kerfluffle here with the links and YouTube not behaving this evening. But welcome in. Hopefully you can see me. If you can, that's great. If you can't, hopefully you get here in the next couple of minutes. I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened with YouTube. It started, then it stopped. So we're on a different link now, I guess. So there's two links. There's one that's like the first 3 minutes, and then it just stopped. I'm going to delete that once this live is over so it doesn't confuse people. But hopefully you guys can see me. I'm sorry, it's a little bit dark in here. That's terrible lighting. God, I should have planned this better. But yeah, well, this is a last-minute DX test, so it's kind of like thrown together. And we just learned about this at the beginning of the month a little bit, not too long ago. But tonight, WZON 620 from Bangor, Maine is going to be doing a DX test. And we are so gracious to whoever put this on. I don't know for sure the specifics of it. Your guess is as good as mine. I know there's people behind the scenes that are like, I did it. Well, if you are that person, you're awesome to put this on, because this is Stephen King's radio station. This is one of his, I believe he has 3 radio stations, so this is one of those, and hopefully we can log Maine here from Minnesota as I try to adjust this light so it doesn't look so scary. Might have to turn on the big light in this room. Anyway, so yeah, right now I also heard from one of our local DXers here in the Twin Cities that 580 from Charleston, West Virginia is on day power. So we're going to go hunt for that one while we wait for the test. While we wait for the test to start, I see him clipping there on the audio. There we go. That should be better. While we wait for that test to start, we're going to try for 580. So you can see Lloyd's stream in the bottom right. He's already live. I don't think he has started his full show yet. He probably won't start for another 5 or 6 minutes or so. But I couldn't wait because I was just antsy, and I'm really excited to see Maine come into here. That would be so awesome. I'm not kidding, guys. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime log here. Vermont was hard enough. Vermont on 620 was hard enough. But Maine would be a treat. And at least tonight the band is cooperating a little bit better than it was last night. If this was last night, I would have a hell of a lot more problems. Most namely because this big monster signal you see right here, WCCO, is right in my backyard. And it's a pain in the ass. We'll just say that. The good news is about them is they are going to move their tower. Well, they're not going to physically move the tower. They have an auxiliary tower over in Anoka. It's actually in Ramsey, Minnesota. It's about 7 miles from me. Not quite 7 miles, maybe 6.5. I don't know the specifics, but it's a lot farther than it is now. CCO is 2 miles from me right now. We are using a Well Good loop that has CCO in the null. But even with that null, sometimes they just destroy the whole band. And I have an attenuator that I showed you guys last time, I believe. It can go up to 32 dB attenuation. Sorry, it's been a long day, and I just watched a 2-hour episode of Hoarders. You guys know how long Hoarders is. 2 hours long for that episode. But yeah, anyway, it can go up to 32 dB attenuation. Can you guys hear the radio okay? The levels look a bit low. Turn the radio up a little bit. And you can see that CCO is just barely clipping the overload on the top left there. I'm using, right now I'm using 12 dB of attenuation. 12 decibels. So picture WCCO 12 dB stronger than that right now. It's really loud in my headphones. So we should be able to hear this test. Like, see, we'll go up to 680 really, or 620 really quick.
What you need to do is figure out.
We're gonna have to use lower sideband during this test, and there's been some weird interference here. I don't know what's causing this bubbling up interference here. Hopefully it goes away. I noticed it when we first started. I think it's the web camera that's causing it, or something with the USB, because I don't know. I don't know what's causing it.
The Sager's here. We'll throw it over to him. He'll get caught up. That's all. Next, Austin Trees.
Having a tough time finding that perfect gift.
It's really intermittent though, whatever it is.
Give them the gift of us. We're reliable. I don't think this is exaggeration. We're uplifting. It is true.
I really hope that goes away.
Holiday gift. Trust me, this will be a great gift. We're Fox Sports Radio. We're one-stop holiday shop.
These web cameras aren't exactly known for being soundproof. I mean, it does have a Ferrite on it. So does my USB hub connected to the laptop. So I'm not sure if that's what's causing it, or if it's just what I technically should do. I have a second laptop here that I use for work. I should probably disconnect the power supply for that, see if that's what's causing it. But anyway, we got 15 minutes until the test, guys.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infection.
Oh, it's not the other computer.
Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis.
I really think it's it's this computer.
Such as fever, sweat, chills, muscle aches, or cough.
And it's gone. Nope. It's back. I spoke too soon. Regardless of that interference, we should be able to hear the test. It's only on 620. That's weird.
And visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZZY.
Yeah, exactly. If Lloyd can hear it, that would be even more insane than Minneapolis hearing. I mean, I know it can go to. I know it's been heard in Michigan because I have a couple friends that are in Michigan that have DX'd it and heard it. One of the guys was like, well, I already have it in my logbook, so I'm going to sleep tonight. I wish I could do that. But duty calls for this. That interference is really annoying. It's only on 622. It has to be on 620. Of course it does.
The election is finally over. Now you can get the cash you need. Imagine what you could do with $50,000.
Same time you can.
But I'd love to hear Stephen King's radio station. That would be so awesome. I have a Kiwi open right now here, I'll show it to you here. I have a Kiwi open from Charlottetown, PEI, which I've been to. If you have the means, go there. It's an awesome town. So this one should be able to hear Maine. The one that's closer to this in Rockport doesn't really have a great AM section. WIBW. That's Topeka, Kansas, just ID. We were going after Charleston, West Virginia here, WCHS, which, according to one of my local DXer friends, is on day power right now. So yeah, anyway, I have this one up, and we'll be able to see the test on this one from Charlottetown. I would not doubt that it makes it that far if they're on 5,000 watts. And of course, I might dip out during the test and just let the SDR run as it is, so you won't hear me yapping. But, oh, there, Lloyd is live. Yep, right as I said. See, I seem to be the only one in the cities that has not heard WCHS. Also, I was going to show you guys, last time I meant to show you guys this, but this is my brand new ham radio. It's not brand new, it's a couple of months old, but it's a Explorer QRZ1. It's just a standard little VHF, UHF radio for hitting repeaters and stuff like that. I've got all of the local repeaters programmed into it. It comes with the programming software. Thanks to QRZ.com or .net or whatever it is. They have like a sale or something. It's like a deep discount for new ham radio operators, and that's how I got it. It was only $29 for this thing. And I can hit repeaters maybe 10, 15 miles out or so, except for the one in Minneapolis that I really would like to talk to. But that's the ham radio I wanted to show you guys last time, if I didn't do it already. I don't know, it's been so long. It's been since November. I wonder which, oh boy, what was that? That is, let's get off of that. That was 590 causing interference there. Sideband. We have Chris here. We have Heck Tag. Hecky. TV Radio 1972's here. Dave is here. Jacob's here. Let's do this, guys. We got about 10 minutes. I didn't hear anything about QSLs on this. I noticed there was some comments on the IRCA email about QSLs, and I don't think anybody was positive, and we don't know for sure if this test is going to actually happen, to be honest. I hope it does. I hope I'm wrong. Otherwise, I'm doing this for nothing. I'm just kidding. God, I hope that interference goes away at some point. That's going to be annoying. Let's see. I'm going to do an experiment here. I'm going to move the
decision over Tyson Fury in Saudi Arabia. And there was an NBA game at Orlando tonight where the
web camera.
Miami by 22 to start the fourth quarter and still won the game, 121-114, because the Heat in the first 10 minutes of the fourth quarter scored 3 points. Orlando.
I don't think it's the web camera. I'm not sure what's causing that.
By the way, here are the exact numbers from the ratings from Thursday night we were talking about. The first game was Orlando against Oklahoma City, and this was not only TNT, it was on True TV as well. This is 2 channels.
It's got to be the laptop causing that interference.
Nationally, it got 562,000 viewers compared to 1 million for Louisville volleyball beating Pitt. And then the late NBA game Thursday night with Knicks Timberwolves, 722,000.
If you're wondering what that poster is behind me,
for Penn State. over Nebraska.
It's for House
You talk
on
to
Haunted
fellows
Hill.
like the Buffalo
It's an
Bills,
old
the high temperature for kickoff
Vincent Price movie.
15 degrees tomorrow.
I actually
Bills
got
have a
that in
shot at the 2
Memphis.
seed behind Kansas City. Chiefs are now 14-1 after the home win today.
There was like
They're
a
closer to clinching the 1
kind of
seed
like a
with
Savers or a
first-round
Goodwill
bye.
there that
And even though
we went
Pittsburgh
to
lost
while we were there in
Baltimore
Memphis.
today, guys, the Steelers could be
So that's
still
the one thing I
division
brought home
champ
from
and
Memphis.
the number 3 seed in the AFC. They didn't clinch the AFC North
Boy,
title
you
'cause
got
they
a
didn't win
prayer
today,
in Memphis.
but they do have the tiebreaker advantage still over Baltimore because Pittsburgh has
I was not a
better
fan of
conference
Memphis, to be
record.
honest, and I'm not a fan of
What is killing the
Vancouver, by the way,
Ravens
either.
is early in the season,
While we're
Baltimore
bashing
blew a
cities.
home game against the Raiders. Also, the Ravens lost a game at Cleveland this year.
I was recently in Vancouver for Tay Tay because my wife got tickets to that, and we flew into Seattle. Seattle's so much nicer than Vancouver. Maybe I was just there the wrong time of year or something, but
we mentioned the cold for
traffic there
Buffalo, home of
sucks.
the Patriots tomorrow. For the Green Bay
And the people
Monday
are kinda
night game,
rude.
About 30 degrees, also about 30 for the Washington home game tomorrow, under 30 for the Jets home game.
So the
About
sports
30
station
degrees
you're
for the
hearing right
Bengals
now
at
is from
home,
Iowa,
Bears at home
KMNS,
tomorrow,
Sioux
and
City,
the
Iowa.
Jets in the 30s for the two NFL
They're going to be a
games.
monster
We
in
had
this.
4 college
There is
football
some
playoff games in
faint
the first
music
round
underneath.
and blowouts in all 4. We mentioned early in the show that the majority of the college football playoff games going
Man, I
back
wish I could
decades
figure out what that noise is.
have not been competitive. They've been at least double-digit margin of victory. AP did a great study tonight.
I can't have the laptop go off of battery power either because it would, the battery would just die like right.
In that same time span over the past decade. Here's the comparison. How many NFL
That's the problem with this, with everything that I have is like the loop picks up a lot of noise.
The answer is almost 55% of the pro playoff games. In college football,
All right, guys, we got
under 30% of them are decided by 8 points.
about 7 minutes. Hopefully this
Average
starts.
margin of victory in the NFL playoffs in the last decade, it is 11 points. College football playoffs, 19 points is the average margin.
There's
of
music
victory,
on the.
including some of the blowouts we had this
Just a second, I'm going to
weekend.
pause
That
this
just adds to the
audio so you
legacy
can
when
hear
it was a
this.
14 playoff of the amount of blowout
We'll go to the
college
PEI.
playoff games we're getting.
We'll go to the PEI receiver. Hopefully you can hear this. Web view. No, you can't. Oh, they're playing Duran Duran. So if you're listening to the, if you're somewhere in the Northeast, I don't know who that is. There we go. And I gotta be careful about getting a copyright strike here, so I'm gonna watch this one. So you're hearing audio off of the PEI Kiwi. Yeah. Elton John. That might be WZON. If somebody has their stream open, let me know if they're playing Elton John. We'll go back up to mine. Open up this.
Up to 2 a.m. Eastern. We'll come back. We'll revisit a busy first day of the first week of the college football playoff. NFL 4 5.
Has to be interference on the signal, the frequency I need. It just has to be.
Some people just know they get hundreds of times. Like if you have a person, like you never check you have a whole bunch of jobs before like together.
That's just my luck. That gets really hot. Turn noise reduction back on. I'm gonna move my table over a little bit, see if that helps. It could be the microphone that's causing this. Nope, it's not. I really hope it doesn't do this the whole time. 5 minutes. Obviously, it's not that. I can kind of hear music back there on 620. Earlier we were hearing Plano, Texas, KTNO, I think it is. But a DX test should stand out like a sore thumb. Does the audio sound good on your guys' end for as far as the radio? Is it too low? It looks like it is slightly low. I don't want to turn it up too much. Hello.
Expecting you for another few days. Good thing my order from
Merry Christmas.
What I would have done had he arrived before the extra spacious section.
Maine would be an awesome Christmas present.
He'd take one look inside and be on his not so merry way. Come on in, Uncle Nick.
I'm going to close these windows that I don't need open.
To prepare you for any moments, visit your local Ashley or shop online at ashley.com for deals that slay.
Attention job seekers. We're looking for hard-working go-getters for a very important opportunity.
Barry Manilow.
Helping someone who may be pushing you away or who may not be able to help themselves.
I don't hear Barry Manilow.
Basically non-stop. And
let's see if we can hear it on the
nothing. Being a loved one of someone struggling with addiction can be a thankless, endless job, but you aren't alone. Partnership to End Addiction is here to support the parents and families of those struggling with substance use. Visit drugfree.org for help and hope.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you
hang on a second, I'm going to mute this. See, on the Prince Edward Island one, I'm not hearing Barry Manilow either. There is a nice, there's a het on that frequency. Somebody's off. It could be like transatlantic. All night. Stupid commercial.
With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog. Because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail. And you say, I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles.
Sorry, cat, I stepped on your tail.
Little belly welly. You know Mr. Pickles is thinking.
Like I said, this is Iowa.
Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000.
You'll hear them ID here in a minute.
Learn more at progressive.com.
Exactly a minute.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Had enough of this country.
Top of the hour alert.
Starting your own.
I planted the flag. This is mine. I own this.
It's surprisingly easy.
The 55 gallons of water, 500 pounds of concrete.
Or maybe, no.
No country willingly gives.
I hear music there. There is music coming up, but that sounds like
Listen to
Spanish.
On America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Escape.
Okay, so that Duran Duran was on Prince Edward Island.
Was on patrol when his truck slipped. Oh, I can't move my legs. When journalists
Yeah, exactly. Cats would. My cats always get under feet, and they get in the way, and they're trip hazards. Boy, everybody and their brother is on the on the PEI Kiwi.
If you need help with a crime or just navigating the system, contact us at pva.org.
You probably hear Plano, Chris.
Online at 620kmns.com and iHeartRadio.
Okay, here we go. It is 1 a.m. Eastern Time.
Football playoff over Tennessee, 42-17. The Vols on the road went 2-3 this year. Texas led Clemson 31-10 in the third quarter, final 38-24. Penn State all over SMU 38-10. In the NFL, 2 games today. Kansas City now 14.
If anybody has a stream open, let me know if they start to test.
Chris Jones left with a strained calf. Texans wide receiver Tank Dell is hospitalized with a serious knee injury.
I'm monitoring the
34-17. The Ravens clinch a playoff spot. Derrick Henry on 24.
I'm monitoring the PEI SDR or the PEI Kiwi.
At the age of 65. In college hoops at Madison Square Garden, Ohio State dominated fourth-ranked Kentucky 85-65. Women's college hoops on Fox. USC won at Connecticut 72-70. I'm Steve DeSager.
Fox Football Saturday, and we're recapping
Christmas music on 620. Maybe they'll do it after the news.
You're listening to Fox Football Saturday. Open score, touchdown from the play.
Open score,
Your
touchdown.
football teams are repped here. Fox Football Saturday is now.
Is that even legal?
Live from the TireRack.com studios of Fox
Oh, the
Sports
Chiefs
Radio.
won today.
Here's Aaron Torres and Jason Martin.
Welcome in, everybody.
I don't know if they're going to actually do this test, guys. I hope they do.
Sports Radio. We are broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studios. TireRack.com will help you get there. An unmatched selection, fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, over 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way
I still hear Christmas music on the PEI Kiwi.
We are taking you up till 2 a.m. Eastern time. Bernie Fratto.
Oh, they're doing a tone now?
Follows us. We still have 58 minutes and change to go. And J. Mark, do you want to go ahead and start with the story of the weekend? The first ever 12-team college football playoff got underway.
KMNS is way too strong.
Didn't really
Oh, I see the tone on the waterfall there.
live up to what we had hoped for.
Of course, it's on the upper side band.
In 4 games. On Friday
No,
night,
man, that might be the
Indiana
head.
loses by 10 at Notre Dame. That game really wasn't that close. It was
I think that's the head.
27-3 with 5 minutes to go before Indiana scores. Then puts in,
See, on the PEI Kiwi, I'm seeing the head. The one, it's like right above the upper side band.
Indiana didn't belong, at least until SMU lost by 28 to
come on,
Penn
guys.
State. Then it was Indiana and SMU didn't belong because darn it, Alabama and South Carolina.
Should have gotten the stream open.
Unfortunately, from there, it didn't really get better. Texas beats Clemson 38-24, and then in a game that went final right as we got on air around 11 Eastern time, Ohio State 42, Tennessee 17, 4 games, 4 blowouts. J-Mark, I'll let you kind of take this wherever you want. Just your impressions of this first college football playoff. Does it need
Oh, of
fixing?
course,
Does it
your
need
ad-supported
tweaking? Is this
stuff.
just what
I
was
hate
gonna
that.
happen, as DeSager said all night long? We got a lot of
probably
blowouts
preload.
in the 4-team era. Is this just gonna happen,
Pre-roll.
or is there something fundamentally wrong or something that needs to be changed?
The sport is always going to be imperfect, and there's only so much that you can do.
Oh, they're doing it. They're doing it.
This is probably more than likely
The
what
test
you're
is
gonna
running,
get
guys.
A lot of times in the first
Morse
round,
code right now.
the better teams, who also are playing at home in crazy environments, are going to beat the other teams. They're going to beat the road teams more often than not. And this year, all 4 won handily, with Clemson really equating itself the best of the 4. And the last game, which I think most of us thought was going to be very competitive, turned out
It's Morse
not
code.
to be at all. And it really looked like that was one of the worst first quarters I've ever seen a pretty good football team play. And I mean, Tennessee's pretty good at worst.
Up sweeps.
And I mean, they got their doors blown off in the first 15 minutes of that
Sweeps.
game. And it didn't get much better from there. They had a little bit of an opportunity at the end of the first half. Scored, got the ball, and couldn't do anything.
Let me look at.
with
Oh,
it.
I can see it right there on the. You could freaking see it on the timeline. On the. Did you guys rewind that when you get a chance? Right there, you could see the sweep on the.
Lesser teams most of the time. And
Holy.
in college football, that's all
Holy
it's
shit.
Like in college basketball, you'll get the NCAA tournament.
Holy
You have a lot
shit.
more games, so just by quantity alone, you're going to have more of a chance for upsets, but the game is different. Like college football, a lot of times talent really does show up and win out
Holy
in a way
shit.
that
We just got
a
Maine,
lot of
guys.
other sports you can cover because of certain other
That
things
sweep,
are
that
happening,
undeniable
but
sweep.
this was just
I
one
could see
team
it on the
a lot better than
waterfall.
the other in all 4 of these games. I don't think that anything needs to be tweaked, though, as
Holy
a result of that. And there's
fudge.
a lot of hand-wringing and a lot of takes, especially on a network that the
Damn.
SEC spends a lot of money with and has a lot
All
of
right, where'd my good pen go?
with arguing against Indiana and arguing against SMU, and then, of course, they have...
Of course, I can't find my pen when I want it.
See in the later game. But they're making all these arguments and all this.
Regardless, we got this. We got the station.
We can get into it in a lot bigger way.
Turn to that
I
station.
don't understand your arguments. At some point, there has to be a scenario in which
I think that was it. They're playing Pac-Man Fever now.
Of an opportunity because of what they didn't accomplish in the regular season.
Wow.
We can
There is no denying that. I hope you guys saw that. It would have been on the middle window.
Unfortunately, the gift and the curse of social media, mostly curse in this case of social media.
Yeah, that sweep tone was just undeniable.
And listen, I think if we had done this show at
Come with me on the
10
inside of
a.m.
your radio.
time instead of 10 p.m., we would have had a different conversation.
This is a good book, by the way. He talks about he talks about like he answers basic questions that people have about the universe. I really love Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's an awesome dude. All right, so let's see what they're doing now. Still Pac-Man fever.
I actually thought he kind of embarrassed himself a little bit.
According to the stream.
I agree with you. I really like her streak a lot.
But we didn't need the stream. We got that waterfall.
I think
Hang on a second, guys.
the committee needs to do a better job. He's like, Indiana had a great year. I mean, they didn't play anybody, but they won 11 games. And all this is just like, does it matter? Does it matter that they played 12 games and only lost 4 of them? Does that matter at all? If not, then we don't need a season.
It was obviously bigger on my my display. I should have had the
Let's just look at the conglomeration of talent.
SDR version open.
Factor in the money that was spent and the combined star ratings. And then
There's no doubt, though, that in my mind that we got that. I could see that very clearly.
And then we can just kind of simulate things.
I'll show you. We'll make this really big here.
Like, at some point, the season has to matter, or we have to reveal our biases. One of those two things have to be true.
This was the window right here that gave everything away.
So I agree with everything, and that's my whole thing, is that, it's amazing that we expanded this playoff.
Still playing Pac-Man Fever.
This. And then all anybody wanted to talk about was,
Pac-Man Fever!
That way, and Alabama, they would have been competitive against Penn State. It's like, well, they played a bunch of games, and they lost them, many of them to inferior teams, and so, at some point, wins and losses do have to matter. But yeah, I think it is funny, and again, it's the curse of social media. Is everything is urgent, everything is now, everyone can share their opinions all the time. And listen, there's a reason that Old Takes Exposed exists, and it's because you're sharing your thoughts in real time, and stuff is subject to change. So, I don't know that anything.
Okay, Pac-Man Fever should be almost over.
24 hours ago that Indiana didn't belong. To your point, I think the bigger takeaway is that I think there's really 2 big takeaways. One, it's really hard to win on neutral fields, or on home fields, as opposed to neutral fields.
Oh, that was it?
Listen, I don't want to pour water.
That was it?
Something, especially this is the first year and whatever. But listen, when you get 12 teams into any postseason, there are.
Hold on a second, you guys. I want you to hear this.
Inherently flawed. Not 12 teams, but
he's talking about the.
Triple the number of teams in a postseason. There are going to be teams that are inherently flawed, and so.
Let me mute this.
With no great wins, whether it was.
I don't know if I can get this going in time. Sorry, if you can't hear it, he's talking about I wish I could get this so you guys could hear this. Hang on a minute. Well, he just did a thing talking about how the tower has a date with the bulldozer, and a little bit of a start of. He said, "Listen, in a few minutes we'll do another test." Now they're playing Carly Simon. Nobody does it better.
I don't want to pour water on it, and I don't want to say that we should.
Damn it! I wish I could have. You guys could have heard. I don't know why it's not working.
What I will tell you is there has never been a
year Baby, you're the best.
12 teams that are good enough to win it. When you get to the bottom teams that are getting in, and essentially SMU and Indiana, and they were the last teams that got in. They didn't win their conference. They were the last.
I love this song.
Like they're going to be.
It's like one of the best songs ever.
And
in theory, could Alabama have played better than them? Maybe in theory, yes, they could have. It doesn't mean that it was guaranteed. And like I said, no matter who you put in spot 9,
Why
10,
can't
11,
you guys hear
whatever,
this?
you're going to have inherently flawed teams, and I think that's what we've seen over the course of the last 24 hours.
Listen, one thing that you just said, you talked about could Alabama have played them tougher? Yes. And probably
Hold on.
have,
I'm
right?
figuring this out.
Even backing evidence because we've seen some duds from Alabama this
Right
year.
the
Yes,
way
they have more talent.
you
Again, they have
do.
better players.
There we go. I can have YouTube remove this one. I don't care about the copyright. This is WZON's stream right now.
Couldn't beat Kentucky and Florida, so they don't get an opportunity. South Carolina had a couple of close calls, but lost. Clemson won a conference championship game. Yeah, I preach to the choir. Get rid of the championship games. They're bad.
You guys, this is history right here. We are witnessing the sign off of a legendary station. So
all those things are true. All the arguments that are about, and I actually even heard this. I saw ESPN, I guess, during our last commercial.
Okay, I'm going to get a copyright strike.
I think it was Van Pelt was asking his guest. I think it was Tim Hasselbeck. What they should do with Tim Hasselbeck, the committee needs to look at who actually has a chance.
Got to be careful on YouTube. They're probably going to flag that.
No, absolutely not. Because I can tell you who's got a chance and all these kinds of things. Sports exist because things happen. That's a terrible argument.
But the whole complaint about the committee is that it's too much
Song is almost over.
Like the dumbest thing that I've heard over the last couple of weeks and months is,
the best.
We got to go back to computers because the committee is terrible. It's like, do we remember
Carly
how
Simon was so incredibly talented.
The computers were like, literally, it'd just be like, oh, this team would be the #1 team, and then the next week they wouldn't lose, they'd be #2, and nobody could explain it, and nobody had to explain it. And so I bring it up because that does crack me up of the idea, like, well,
I don't know if they're doing the Dave. I don't know. I'm still waiting on the song to end.
The argument is, well, we need to think about who could go and who could do this and who could do that. It makes the thing more subjective, more objective, and more subject, whatever it is, whatever TIB it is, TIB.
No, they just started a new song.
It makes it more letting people make up their own criteria as they go. And
Little River Band, Take It Easy on Me.
I didn't cut you off, but I'll just be quick. Is that you can
I don't know that song.
Criteria that the committee used, but at least they were consistent about it. They didn't punish.
But yeah, we definitely saw the sweep. I don't know how it's going to come across on the stream, but it's there.
It's just funny to me that
I physically saw it with my own eyes, so we got them. I don't think this was like a full organized test like, you usually get with like the sweeps and the tones and the telephone on the hook thing. I think this was just a one shot. I could be wrong. They might be going to, he said wait again. Wait for the next time. God, that interference sucks. Has to be on this channel too. Just has to be. That's my luck. Still playing Little River Band. That had to have been 5,000 watts. Although stranger things have happened. If that was 60 watts, that's incredible. Or 620 watts, that's incredible. For those of you guys watching Lloyd, I can't really watch him right now. Do you know? Let me know if he's got him. Chris, the sports station's probably Iowa. Try KMNS. It should match my stream. What I'm hearing, you should be able to hear. Chris is my brother, by the way.
Because we know who they don't want to play. We know people would much rather play this team than play Alabama. So we got to.
You should have a if it's the same sports station, you should have a perfect match to this, unless it's the ones I can think of out there are KPOJ from Oregon, and then there's the one from Grand Junction, but they're like a flea power at night.
have done enough to earn.
Still playing Little River Band.
It's not about how good you think you are. How
I hope that's not it.
Subjectively, it's not about how many stars you have on your team. It's not about your fan base size and all this stuff. It has to be about what you did during the season. And at that point, in a sport where nobody plays the same team.
Somebody commented, Earl Higgins commented on their Facebook page about the DX test.
You either let teams like SMU and Indiana in, or you disband the.
I also hear another talk station under there.
Disband every conference that's not the SEC and the Big Ten, and you just.
Oh, the Vermont one.
Like,
let me switch SDRs here, or Kiwis. I'm going to go to the Vermont Kiwi. That I'm being recommended the Vermont Kiwi to hear WZON.
Alabama could have gone to Happy Valley and given them a better chance. Alabama blew their.
This one's probably going to be busy too.
3 games. At some point, there has to be a scenario where Alabama doesn't deserve
there's a
to be
channel
in the
open.
playoff, right? Like, can we all agree on that? And this is coming from somebody in Nashville who is an SEC fan.
I don't hear him on the Vermont one, the Central Vermont Kiwi.
Like, I don't know what you want me to say in this moment, but
yeah, Chris, if you're hearing the same station I'm hearing, that's KMNS Sioux City. You might, I don't know if you have that one or not.
And Feinbaum and his bang-up job committee and all this other kind of stuff. Well, I imagine
let me double check your logs.
A little bit quieter after watching what Ohio State did to Tennessee tonight.
You do not have them, so if that's what you're hearing, that's new.
I thought Tennessee may have had the advantage going in because it felt like all the pressure was on Ohio State.
I take care of my brother's logs too, so I know where they are.
Did they deserve
I know what he can get.
Yes, absolutely they did.
Because I actually lived in Sheridan for quite a while.
I mean, look at their schedule. Who did they beat?
4 years.
Who did they beat that super impresses you? In Texas, that same argument, you made it, Torres. You even made it, I think, on Twitter because awful announcing used your tweet. I just saw it. Indiana and SMU.
Hey, Rick, you missed.
Well, Texas beat nobody.
I know you're going to see this in a few seconds because of the delay, but you missed the sweep.
Okay, great.
I don't know if they're going to do another.
Even though they didn't really beat anybody of consequence, they only lost to Georgia.
Now they're playing Main Street by Bob Seger.
Championship game. So they get their opportunity.
So I think what happened was they went up to 5,000 watts just for that brief second just to do the sweep, and then they dropped back down to their whatever 620 watts. Unless it was 620 watts that we heard.
You want to give X and Y a chance, but you
hang on a second.
Well, and you're using everything you can to now increase the skills so that next year
there is something coming up on.
Is afraid to put it in Indiana.
Yeah, and I'll just say this really quickly. We got to come back and do some other stuff, but that's the disappointing part. Is the people that claim all.
See, the problem is I don't know if they're doing the test during the. Wow, this got loud all of a sudden. I don't know if you guys heard that. The band just shifted. You can actually see it shifting. This interference that you're hearing is not the DX test. It's probably my stupid laptop.
I think the SEC is really good. I don't think they're miles ahead.
Okay, Main Street's almost over. When I'm feeling lonely and beat.
I could go on and on, but I don't know if you have anything else to break in, maybe after the break. But
and I find my feet.
It is what it is.
Down on Main Street. Good song for a DX test.
And I've said this before, I do wonder if because we're doing the playoff in real time.
You guys can hear it, or you can't hear it, I can hear it.
Maybe that, like because we're creating the playoff system in real time.
I don't want to get a copyright strike.
If we did the NFL playoff for every division winner gets a first round bye now, like I wonder if people would say that's insane.
Okay, song is almost over.
If that's part of it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Back to playing SEC fans. You got 3 teams in. 1-1 today, 1 game. You played really good football. I just don't think it's that much better than everybody else that's in the Big Ten. Fox Sports Radio, we got to come back. We got to talk about Mike Pence.
Let's see if they do something here. Nope. Let's do another song. Christmas song. I think that might have been it. Unfortunately, guys, I think that might have been it. That test right at the beginning of the top of the hour. The sweep. I really hope that isn't. Cool, I'm gonna mark that down. You can put it on the forum. I don't know this Christmas song that's on WZON right now. They have a good mix of music, though. I'll give them that. Yeah, I don't think. I think that might have been a one-off thing with that sweep. You guys can't hear this. Well, you can't hear it. Ah, crap. I'm gonna probably get nailed for that. Anyway, if you're just now joining us because the audio has been muted by YouTube, that's WZON's live audio. Sometimes I go back and mute the audio myself because I don't want the copyright strike. YouTube is stupid. It used to not do that. So frustrating that they do that now. I hear, I'm gonna mute this, like, it's annoying. I hear KMNS all the time. Like I said, I really apologize for this interference. I don't know what's causing this. It just happens to be on the channel that we need, but we still saw the sweep. If you're joining us late, we did see the sweep. I know that Jacob saw the sweep, and there might have been a few others of you guys that saw it.
And with its fast flip-top safety and fingerprint, you get quick access and better ease for up to 12 feet. It's better to have Sabre and not than need it and not have.
I'm looking on Facebook. I don't know if you're watching, Matt, but you did get it. Todd and Bloomington got it. So those of us that were in Minnesota, we heard it. I really hope that they actually do some more. The guy did say, like, wait a few minutes, we'll do it again. But it's been more than a few minutes. Still playing the Christmas song. It's just ending right now. Oh, now they're playing Christopher Cross, Best That You Can Do. What's in your life? You find her. It's still at 5,000 watts. Okay. So if you hear Christopher Cross's Arthur's theme, if you hear that song, when you get caught within the moon in New York City, they're on, that's WZON. I know it's crazy. You guys can't hear this, but I can. I don't want to get a copyright strike. Go over to WZON Streamlight now. You can enjoy the music like I'm enjoying. That's what you can do. I'm just excited that we got Maine. That's the main thing we came here to do. We came, we saw, we conquered. I knew when my friend in Michigan said earlier today that he had it in his log. I mean, Michigan's what, 200, 300 miles away? What's 300 miles? Especially for 5,000 watts.
Ingredients and dosages that work for you.
Sounds like quite a few people got it.
This isn't a food sensitivity test. This tells you exactly what you need to eat and avoid based on your body's response to over 370 foods. Viome uses cutting-edge RNA and AI technology to analyze your unique biology and creates a personalized plan to optimize your health. That's not all. They create made-for-you supplements, biotics, and oral care products, all tailored specifically to your results. Whether you want to improve energy, increase focus, or lose weight, Viome offers a
really good mix of music, though. It's a shame the station's going away.
All from the comfort of your home. Take control of your health journey today.
It just sucks that radio's not as profitable as it used to be.
And get $110 off any test using code IHEART. That's Viome.com. Viome.
You think, because this is Stephen King's radio station, you think maybe that there would be some saving of it. What I don't hope, well, the guy said that the station's heading for the bulldozer, so that's kind of it for it. But I was going to say, what I wouldn't hope happen would be a religious broadcaster snags it up, because we already have too much of that on the dial. What a waste of a signal. Why not keep broadcasting stuff like this? Christopher Cross.
To find out what's one on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Boy, I really have to track down that interference on 620. I don't know what that is. Okay, song is almost ending. Uh-oh, Jingle Bell.
Fox Sports Radio. Eric Torres, Jason Martin broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studio. Should mention shortly after the show, our podcast will be going up. Today's show. Be sure to check out the podcast. Just search Fox Sports
Longest
Radio.
song ever.
Be sure to follow, rate, and review the show as well. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get podcast. You'll see this show posted after we get off air. It is middle of the hour.
Oh, now they're going to play My Best Friend's Girl by the car.
For what is trending with Steve Sager.
Mr. Torres, I did notice that in 2 seasons, Indiana college football will be playing
Okay,
a game
so
at Connecticut.
Rick said that Jim Renfrew over on the International Radio Club of America, IRCA, said that the test ended at 7 after. So that is it, guys. I am really sorry that they didn't go longer. I mean, it's not my fault, but I mean, I'm really kind of bummed that that was it. So what do you guys want to do now that we know that the test is over? What do you want to do? I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to get off this frequency because that's annoying. Let's try to track down WCHS. That's really disappointing that it was only seven minutes long. I mean, at least we got it. See, this is where an SDR comes really in handy, because you can see the waterfall. That's the biggest thing. I couldn't hear it, but I could see it. And seeing is believing.
Breaking news on WIBW.
You probably, Chris, if you're still watching, you probably hear WIBW as well. Topeka, Kansas.
Jewelers winter sale is happening now. Make this winter extra bright with a gift that lasts forever.
Sucks.
Browse the largest selection of fine jewelry in Topeka to find exactly what you're looking for. Don't miss our best sale of the year with savings of
Yeah, I will. Of course, I'll see the IRC emails tomorrow, but
to make this season unforgettable.
unless they came tonight.
Calhoun Jewelers, located at 1801 Southwest West Gage in Topeka, Kansas.
Who doesn't love
Ooh,
a good
Papa
laugh
Roach
with
is
free
going to be in
car
the
rides?
city.
Well, it depends on the advice.
Not that I care.
Under the hood, you can have both. I'm Russ, along with
Yeah, I won't
Stan
get
and
the
Chris,
IRCA
your hosts
digest
for the
until
best
tomorrow, but I'll
on
I guess I'll find out more about the test. So it was only 7 minutes long. That was it. That kind of explains why it wasn't like the full announcement, like, hey, we're doing an hour-long test, not like the ones that we've heard in the past on this channel. And I don't know. I've heard DX tests for a long time, at least a decade and a half or so. I remember them doing them back when I was in Sheridan. There was a station in Texas that did a DX test. So WCHS West Virginia is also supposedly on day power. And I don't have this one. And of course they have a pre-roll ad on their stream. I think we'll hang around until 45 after and then we'll sign off. That's disappointing. I'm really kind of bummed about that only being 7 minutes long. We got a lot of crosstalk here from some other station. Let me see. Oh, I see. .590 and 570, which would be WNAX, are being really obnoxious tonight. Sounds like there's Spanish music in there. WCHS is in a commercial right now. They're talking about the psychiatrist. There's a movie on tonight that I haven't seen in a long time. Fargo was on TV tonight. I only caught the ending of it. That's a great film. Except for people in Minnesota don't talk like that. Well, some of them do. Not like that exaggerated, but even I've started picking up the Minnesota accent since I've been out here. Oh yeah, don't you know? Let's see. I'm wondering who that if that was Spanish. That might have been Mexico. That might have been Chihuahua, if that's what that was. And of course I can't read WCHS. I don't think we're going to hear WCHS. I have a really hard time with West Virginia, and plus my loop doesn't really favor that direction, so what a major bummer that was it. But I mean, I'm glad we caught it. Hopefully you guys were recording. If you were recording, look at the first 7 minutes of the hour, and if you see that one big sweep and or you hear Morse code, that's them.
Call 1-866-200-0223. Visit powerline.org/help.
I don't think we're going to hear WCHS. All right. Let's see, we got about 10 minutes or so. Let's just screw around. Oh, same program as that was airing on the other channel. What program is this? Somebody who's familiar with nighttime programming. Good night, Chris. I'm glad that you got a new station. Too bad it wasn't Maine. I think had they done a longer one, you guys would have had a better chance. Had they done the sweep tones longer, like keep going like... Because there was only one. There was only one sweep tone. Kind of like a jip. I mean, I'm grateful that we got to do it. That's all I care about. Who is the station? Oh, there's a couple stations airing it. By the way, speaking of 1150, if you guys hear oldies on 1150 now, that's, if you're out in this part of the country, that's CKOC from Hamilton, Ontario. They flipped formats. They were like a business talk, I think. God, the band is really good shape tonight. I almost hate to call it a night, but I mean, if the test is not going to be going, I think we're going to call her good.
Personal story, right? And the best part is, what I love is the people that don't know the story. That what's that?
You can hear Zoomer being beat up. Yeah, the band is in really good shape.
That's 877-95.
Speaking of KAY, I don't know if you guys are on Facebook. Oh, of course you are. There was a post about how they were supposedly cutting down to nighttime power. This is KAY right now.
To healthcare, nutrition, and
they are not on night power.
And support on their path to employment.
Cumulus does not care about this station, so they're going to let it run until it runs to the ground.
Learn more about Children International.
So this is Little Rock, Kansas, or Little Rock, Arkansas. God, I'm tired.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still.
So for those of you who think that KAY has dropped power, they have not.
She was
KMOX.
God's choice. It's also intriguing that you spent a large part of your life survived all that, and it's also intriguing.
This is Rochester, New York.
And it's also intriguing that you spent a large
Wham!
part of your life.
Let me check in and see if anybody else is getting them. Okay, so it looks like a majority of us here in this DX chat that I'm at in the city heard the station, heard Bangor. And that's definitely new for me. That's... What log is that? That's 1,437. 1,437 logs here. I cannot believe I've gotten that many. Of course, I've almost been here for 10 years, so I mean... What am I? I'm on level 90.
You know, to protect you.
A potential.
Wow, KGLO is getting beat up tonight. KGLO from Mason City, Iowa.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, do some showbiz here. And when we come back, let's jump into
the other stations are on this channel.
Darker
this is,
side of
probably one of them
Christmas
is Wood.
tradition. Are you down?
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Okay, when we come back, Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast AM is probably KGLO. Well, let's hear if Wood is doing the other one.
Increased tariffs on our trade partners, tax cuts, and regulation changes. Worldwide gold is a viable diversification tactic now more than ever.
I don't know, George.
Gold is releasing their ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era, which forward by Donald Trump Jr.
Okay, so WOOD is in there. They're airing like a news program with a lady on the phone, and I can hear it. I heard it earlier before I started the stream.
Text coast to the number 98, 98, 98.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here at 12:45 if they're not gonna do anything else. But I mean, thank you guys for joining me on this test. I mean, I just think you saw me go crazy. So that moment that I go crazy is when I could see it on the display. The waterfall. The waterfall is just makes everything so much better. It's almost like cheating, but it's not. This spectrum was always here, we just couldn't see it before with older radios. Yeah, the band looks really good tonight. See, like, for example, This is WHAS from Kentucky, right next to CCO, 2 miles away from me. That loop is kicking ass as far as Knowles. And of course, the 2 stations here are the Punjab station out of Ontario and Texas. WBAP from Dallas.
Solve all the problems and spots those shady web. All vote against her. $19 the first. So stop waiting for the worst to happen. Go to protectwithkim.com right now for Total AV's 5-star anti.
A lot of stations airing coast to coast right now. I'm getting kind of tired, guys.
Protectwithkim.com.
What shall we do? Well, Lloyd is over, so let's get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me. I guess we'll see you when we see you. We'll do this again sometime. Hopefully there's going to be another DX test before the end of the year, or before the end of the season. I'd love to see more of these East Coast DX tests, like up especially North New England DX tests. That would be awesome. I do need New Hampshire. As far as this, I don't have any logs in New Hampshire that I'm aware of. I don't think so. I already have Vermont. I don't have Delaware.
If this bothers you, you can set your recordings.
I do have Rhode Island, I think.
So Amazon never even gets your recordings. But they,
for kicks and giggles, let me check my log here.
A little bit because it's
I do have Rhode Island.
And you got to dig around.
What else is up there? Connecticut.
Called Manage Your Alexa Data.
I do have one from Connecticut.
Where you can stop the recordings, and you can also choose how long to save the recordings. If you need the exact steps, we have them.
Plenty from New Jersey. New Jersey is actually one of my better states up there. Massachusetts is not bad. But yeah, like I said, I don't have any from Vermont, and now I'm going to have to add Maine to that list. Maine is a new state. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. What's left of it. Because today is Sunday now. It's Sunday in the Central Time Zone. And good DX. I hope you guys had a chance to hear the test. We did, so I mean, I don't know what else to say. Let's skedaddle. See you later.
I'm driving down the road at night. I'm alone. Thoughts in my head. I know I'm somewhere in the old Southwest, that it comforts me, a beacon of red. I see the red light flashing ahead, sending signals to the stars above. The sound of voices from far away, oh I never could hear my love. I listen to the radio, oh, I listen to the radio, oh, I listen to the radio.